Welcome to my dad's podcast. It is called Up and Atom. Oh, and my mom's on it too.
All right, here we are. Take 3 of the intro to the Up and Atom podcast. Episode number 16, heard exclusively on wherever you listen to your podcast, although not many of you do listen to this podcast, but that's okay because we know that we have a few loyal people out there, and so we'll keep churning this content out for you. So we appreciate all those who are listening to us. Make sure you find us on all our social media feeds. Stephanie, can you share with everybody what those are again and how to find us?
Apple, Spotify. Those are the only ones.
Those are good. Also not social media feeds. That's where you can download the show at, though. So Apple, Spotify, Libsyn, Google Play, all of your relative stuff. The social media feeds, Stephanie, I'm surprised you don't know this. This
Facebook.
Is Facebook, Instagram, Up and Atom Podcast. That's where we are located at, so you can find us on there. And make sure you follow us. Make sure you like our stuff. Subscribe, rate, review. Do all that good, happy jazz. I'm back, and Stephanie has joined me again for yet another week. Stephanie, welcome.
Yes.
Welcome.
Thank you. Thanks for letting me back.
How you feeling this week? How are we doing?
It's been a rough week to get back into the swing of things.
Rough week. What? Well, let's talk it out. We got nothing but time here. What's caused the rough week for you?
I just think that it was hard to get back into the swing of things. Like, I'm tired. I'm dragging. I have low energy. And I think that's part of, like, time zone change and just, all the stuff from Hawaii.
Oh, wow. So the entire week you were tired, you were dragging.
I felt
energy
like that.
Was low.
Yes. I felt like that.
And you still feel that way, or has it changed? Has it improved for you at all?
It has not improved for me yet.
It is not. When are you expecting a certain day where you think you'll see improvement?
Probably on Wednesday when the kids go back to school.
Wednesday when the children go back to school.
Yippee!
I feel like it's sad that you are excited that our kids are having to go someplace that they don't really want to go. Although I know they have to, but whatever.
Yeah, but you didn't spend 9 weeks all day, all night with them.
Not all day. I spent a lot of days with them though. Weekends and stuff. What do people do? I have a question. This is serious. I wasn't planning this, but while we're talking about it, I have a serious question. You and I were just talking about this a second ago.
Yes. I'm wondering why you're holding the microphone.
Because I'm really excited to share this story.
Okay.
What do people do on the weekends? It seems like we never have anything to do on the weekends. But yeah, it seems like everybody we know always has stuff to do. What are you people doing on the weekends? Like, what kind of plans do you have? Where are you going? How do you set that stuff up? Like, what are we doing on the weekends around here? Because it seems like everyone has all these elaborate, luxurious type weekend plans, and we don't do much. What's going on there?
I don't think they're luxurious, but here in California, especially in the summer, everyone is camping on the weekends, or they're taking their boats or their jet skis out.
But people legit go camping every weekend?
Yes.
There's enough to do every weekend to camp?
There's enough different camping places to go, yes.
What do you do when you camp? I've never been camping. Full disclosure, never been camping.
It's sad that he's never
I'm
been
not
camping.
thinking it's happening anytime soon either. I don't think camping is for me.
You said I could take you glamping.
Remind people what glamping was again?
Glamping is like camping, except for you're not in a tent. You're in like a cabin, and you have bathrooms.
Yeah, I would need some sort of a washroom receptacle situation.
But here in California, most people have RVs, I think is what they're called. Motorhomes, RVs, whatever. They don't sleep in tents every weekend. And they have a bunch of friends that go with them. So their kids are entertained, and they just sit in chairs and drink their...
So every week, they're a group of idiots who just grab all their kids, put them in a camper. Our kids don't even like being in the air-conditioned house. We're going to get them out to a forest where there's nothing to do. There's no internet out there?
There's no internet, but there's
what
swimming.
What people do? Swimming where?
There's pools, usually at the campgrounds, and then there's lakes, and then...
There's pools at the campgrounds.
Yes. There's a pool at the
campground. I don't understand. We pay a pretty good penny to live in this house, right?
Yes.
And yet, 52 weeks a year, I'm going to go live in the middle of the woods for nothing?
Well, it's cheap to just pay to park your camper and plug it in.
All right, what else are they doing on the weekends? I don't like that camping idea.
Like I told you, our friends, we're going to Six Flags. We don't want to do that in the 100-degree weather.
But you can't do that every weekend, though.
No,
like, that can't be like an every weekend.
Take their pool out.
Take your pool out. Let's get our pools out, everybody. Get your pools outside.
Now, some people do have pools, and if we had a pool, we would do that.
Yeah, if you had an in-ground pool, I would see. But, like, I'm not that guy who's going to buy, like, that above-ground pool that just sits in the back. Like, that's not me. We can't do that.
Well, we didn't.
We didn't, and that's probably why.
We didn't want to build it.
All right, what else are people doing on the weekends? Well, here's the other thing. Is there... do you think other folks just have a larger weekend budget than we have?
I don't think so.
Okay, I'm just asking.
I think they find ways to do things that don't cost money.
And do you think their children are better than our children?
I think their children get along better than our children. Like, if we don't have a friend for our children, they don't play together and they don't get along. So it's kind of like a waste of our time, energy, and money to take them places if they don't have somebody with them.
Only one of them needs a friend. I think the other one is fine by himself. We have to entertain him and talk with him. But I think the other one needs constant companionship or else she's bored.
Yes.
So let me recount the problems just really quickly. I'm writing these down for you. So camping, that's not for us. We're not
boating. We could get a boat.
All right. Well, how's that? Oh, we're gonna buy. So again,
you have a truck.
I do have a truck. And so we're buying a boat.
We could buy a boat. And
what the hell do we know about boating though? Like, are we supposed to take care of this thing?
You gotta clean it when you come out. Yeah.
What does that mean?
I know enough about boating.
What do you mean clean it? When you like
you wash it
armor
off.
all? Like, what do you do?
Well, the outside you have to wash it off and then dry it off so that it doesn't get like the algae and stuff from the lake.
Where do you keep this boat?
Well, for us, we would either have to pay to keep it at the storage unit, or we would have to fit it into our garage.
So there's a storage place where people just keep their boats?
Yes.
Wow.
And RVs.
And RVs.
Because there's a rule here, you can only have your RV in your driveway for
we're getting a
24
boat,
hours.
We're getting a boat and an RV.
No, just one.
Just one. Because it seems pretty expensive.
So I don't think we should have a boat in California because you can only use it like 4 months out of the year. But if we were in a warmer climate, I would want a boat full time. So
we're getting a full. So this does seem like an expensive. So, but every weekend we're going to go on the boat.
Well, if you're paying for a boat, then yeah, you want to spend the time.
Well, I guess.
And you know what? If you have a boat, lots of people want to be your friend.
But do you want them to be your friends?
Well, that's the problem.
I mean, I think that's the thing you got to solve for is like, do you want these people to be your friends? So it sounds like people buy these things like a camper or a boat just to have people come around them.
No, I think that just people and hear that they have a boat and then they say, hey.
We haven't gotten to the things that annoy me as part of the show yet, but one of them is happening right now. Whenever our children stands outside the door here and watches us talk, and they have some sort of a random thing that they need to talk about that's probably not important at all, and we try to mouth to them what it is, and so that always kind of derails the show whenever that happens. Anyway, that really throws us off track. But so maybe there's some people out there who can give us advice because we find ourselves pretty bored on the weekends. Now I will caveat this by saying we're about 3 weeks out from football season, in which case I'll be set Saturday, Sundays.
Yeah, and then you'll be mad when I try to make plans. And then I'll be mad
when you try to take us on the boat that we don't have.
And we have soccer season coming up. That'll keep us busy.
Soccer season, okay. I guess, is it just the summer months? It feels like we have nothing to do. And everyone's always out doing stuff, and we got no stuff to do. What do people do? I don't know.
Yeah, they don't mind being outside as much, I guess.
I mean, I don't mind not being. It's also 97 degrees outside today. I mean, it's hot. I don't mind being outside, per se. It's just, like we were talking earlier. People help me on this one. All 28 of you who listened to this last week, help me on this one. There are one of the phenomenons here in the local area is there are a couple of places that are kind of common to the area that people can go to, and so there are two breweries. I always have a hard time saying that word.
You did good.
You say it.
Brewery.
Oh, so you don't brewery. You don't pronounce the second R. You say brewery.
Yes.
Brewery.
Brewery.
Brewery. Yeah, there's another R in the back
brewery.
there. Brewery. It sneaks up on you. And they have like kids games and stuff and whatnot, and it's family friendly. But I feel like there's a stigma if you take your kid to a brewery.
Yeah, I do feel weird walking in with my kids.
I'm all for it though. But I feel like there's a stigma. And there's also like wine tasting. A lot of people take their kids to the wine. There's wine clubs out here. Is that what people do on the weekends? Are we going wine clubbing?
Well, they more take their kids to like the Wine Down Friday music. It's like a music in the park.
Every time you say Wine Down Friday, as if you know what that is.
I'm not sure they take their kids wine tasting, but they take their kids to the winery for different events.
Well, our kids won't go to that kind of stuff, though.
No. Not unless, again,
so
we
are
have people with them.
Are our kids broken? Are we broken? Like, what's the brokenness there?
I think the brokenness is we need to find more friends for them with adults that we like, their parents that we like, to have them come with us.
Gotcha. So we need to find people who are willing to go to breweries.
That have kids our age. A boy and a girl and 5 years apart, which almost nobody has.
When did our life get to this point where it's like we can't do anything unless we find ways to entertain the children? Like, why can't we just go get in the car right now and let's just go do whatever we want to do?
We can. It's just not going to be enjoyable because they're going to make us miserable.
Yeah.
We tried to take them to the water park, just the four of us, and that did not go well.
Fiasco.
Mm-hmm.
Fiasco. Aiden was fine.
Yeah.
Until they shut the pool off, and then he was upset because the pool was shut down.
And then he
was
spilled
crowded,
his
by the
whole
way.
entire drink on
He does
him.
that a lot, by the way. It was crowded there too. I don't blame him for that. All right, well, I don't know. Maybe our kids just suck.
But you know what? They're
What?
getting to the age where Addison's old enough to watch Aiden, and we can just go do our own
But they don't
thing.
get along. They're gonna. She's gonna kill the poor kid. She was just like screaming her head off at him because he wanted to look at her Rubik's cube drawing over there.
Yeah, that's true.
She's got a little attitude on her lately. I'm not sure if I like that.
Yeah, the middle school years are not easy, people. Not easy.
Yeah, it's not. It hasn't been fun. I don't like the little attitude I'm getting from Addison these days. That's for sure. So we went to Hawaii. People know that. Not a lot of people listen to that episode. Do you think it's possible that they don't like that we went to Hawaii? Maybe they're out on summer break themselves. Maybe they're all camping and there's no downloadability for our show out there. Is that what's going on? Is that why no one's listening? Because they're all camping on the boat?
Maybe. They're not camping on the boat, just to be clear. They're camping
Wait,
on the boat.
You can't camp on a boat?
You can, but that's
what
scary.
I thought. That's what I thought.
So.
Maybe that's why.
That, or they're just like, I don't want to hear how you had a nice vacation and I didn't.
Okay. We're sorry.
Yeah, we are
Today,
sorry.
I mean, this week our list's been pretty crappy, if that helps anybody out there.
Yeah, we haven't done anything.
Haven't done anything.
We
No.
went shopping, school, getting ready for school.
School supplies, yeah. So I'm also 7 days into this challenge that I started for myself.
He's a little cranky because of it.
Am I?
You're a little like antsy.
What do you mean antsy?
Like you would like to drink beer, but you're not drinking beer.
Yeah.
And so you need something to fill your time.
I'd also like to eat food other
That too.
than just grass-fed beef and vegetables all day long. I'd like to go and grab a nice steak someplace maybe, which I guess we could do, or go get some nachos. I love a good chicken nacho in my life, and so yeah, I guess is that crankiness? I don't know.
I'll say antsiness.
Again, I don't know if it's antsy. I am. Yeah, I mean, we have nothing to do. We established we don't like to camp. We don't have a boat, and our kids are terrible, so we have nothing to do.
Except for eat, which
Except
we
for
can't
eat,
do.
which we can't do. Who's we? I mean, you haven't really taken to the 30-day challenge.
No, my challenge starts on next Monday.
Oh, why are you starting challenges off cycle here? What do you mean next Monday? What does this mean?
That's when I'm having all of the Family Fit crew start theirs. Plus, it's just too hard with the kids home.
How's that?
Because we had like appointments and things to do, and so it was hard to plan your meals and eat at home and stuff like that.
Gotcha. Okay. We also got a lot of great feedback. It seems like a lot of people out there are enjoying these White Claws and these Trulies, these water flavored alcohols.
Not Miss Kristen.
Not Miss Kristen.
I got a text about that from her.
But so we went to the store last night and I figured, let me just check what the flavors are. They were all gone. Not a single one on the shelf. There was really one like mixed berry that was like hidden in the back that I secured. But I mean, those things are just flying off the shelf.
Yeah.
Welcome to 2019. Millennials. I see you.
The last few weeks when you've asked me to get them, there's not many to pick from. And I was telling you, I read that it's actually outselling beer lately in the stores.
I mean, that's obvious. And we had another watershed moment in my life last night. I did something. I don't think I've ever done this before.
Yeah, that was weird.
I don't think I've ever done this before.
You looked fancy.
I did look fancy. We went out to dinner last night. I get one cheat meal a week. We went to a pizza place. And with my pizza, glass of white wine.
Yeah. You looked very fancy.
The guy here ordered a glass of white wine. I even knew what to order. I knew how to say it correctly. I got two, actually. Actually, this brings up an interesting...
You got two different ones?
No, I got 2 different glasses of wine. This brings up an interesting conversation you and I were having last night. We were going to save this for a later part of the show, but here's an interesting conversation. You guys tell me what you would do here, because I'll tell you what I'll lay the scenario out, and then we'll tell you what happened. So we're at dinner. I order a glass of wine before usually the food got there. I'm sipping on the wine. Food gets there. It's pizza, so I have about a slice. These slices were massive. A lot of things falling off the pizza. Why did that happen, by the way?
I don't know. I think there was too much cheese. Is that even possible? That, or they must not have done something right with the dough, because the cheese and the toppings did not stay on at all.
We need to take a poll here. I need to put this on one of our social media feeds that no one follows us on. What's the proper way to eat pizza? So there's a lot of different methods. Let me just share some of the ones. You tell me if any of these are hitting for you. Okay. So let me just hold on. I gotta, there's gotta be some, production's important on the show, Stephanie. Let me just lay out some of the methods. You tell me if you agree with some of these, right?
All right.
So the people who just flat out flat slice, just into mouth. Is that you?
No.
No. Okay. There are people, there are folders, people who fold the pizza up, and sort of eat it folded. Is that you?
I do sometimes fold.
All right. Last night was a folding situation for me because there was just so many toppings. Then there's the psychopaths who use a fork and knife. Is that you?
That is me.
Well, that's you, and that's also you because I believe pizza was not meant to be with a fork and knife.
But listen, what I do is I use the fork and knife for the first half of the pizza.
Why?
Because it's hot and...
Not all the pieces are hot. So once you get to like piece 2 or piece 3, I've seen you. Don't you deny it. Once you get to piece 3, it's not warm anymore.
So
I'm sorry, it's warm, but it's not hot enough that you can't burn yourself.
I just enjoy cutting off the triangle and then I fold the other half and eat it. And let me just tell you guys, I only eat cheese pizza. I know I'm so weird.
Yeah, not a single topping goes on that pizza, friends.
If I have to, I can handle green peppers and sometimes pepperoni if that's like the only thing available.
It's a fiasco going. And so, and Stephanie, remind everybody really quickly, your heritage is what?
I am very Italian.
Italian, and yet not a slice of pepperoni.
No.
Not even anywhere near. Not even some prosciutto, whatever the heck that stuff is. I don't know what that is. Did I say that right? I feel like I said that right. Prosciutto.
Doesn't usually go on pizza.
What is prosciutto?
It's the tomato and spices that go on top of what, like when they give you bread at an Italian restaurant.
I thought that was bruschetta.
Oh.
I said prosciutto.
Oh, is that sausage then?
I don't know. I thought you knew. You're Italian. Why are you telling? You should be educating all of us on what prosciutto is.
I probably
am I looking
should.
this up? Are we looking up prosciutto? Hold on, I'll look at prosciutto real quick. So did I miss any other ways to eat your pizza?
Some people eat it backwards. More like kids.
Oh, wow. Crust first?
Yeah.
Wow. Prosciutto is an Italian dried cured ham that is usually thinly sliced and served uncooked.
Ham. I said sausage.
Backwards? So crust first.
That's more like kids.
Yeah. Yeah, I still think you got to go just straight up slice in hand. Now, do you enjoy you're a traditionalist in the sense that you want your pizza in the triangle format versus the square format?
I am not a big fan.
What's wrong with the square format?
I don't know. It's just not.
It's not pizza, okay.
Traditional.
And are you thin crust, regular crust, or like Chicago deep dish?
I am regular.
Regular, okay.
I know you like thin crust.
I do like a good thin crust, almost like a flatbread situation, a little crunch to it, doesn't hurt. I do not. I disdain the deep dish pizza.
Me too.
I'm from Illinois by birth, although I don't necessarily associate myself much with that locale, and that I didn't live there very long. But not a deep dish fan. There's just too much sauce. There's a lot of stuff going on there. I don't like a lot of the pizza sauce. Not a big sauce guy.
Well, I also don't like how thick the crust is.
Fair. Okay. Anyway, so we get this pizza. Stephanie eats hers with a fork and knife, and then psychopaths everywhere are uniting. And so I finish my slice and finish my glass of wine. Nice little waiter guy comes over and says, "Like another one, sir?" And I said, "Yeah, hit me, chief." So he comes back, second glass of wine. I enjoy another slice of pizza. Kids are finishing up their food. Stephanie's continuing her psychopathic ways over there, and all's well, all said and done. And we're checking out. Bring us the check, chief. So check comes back over. I think Stephanie had the first crack at it. I think it went towards her side of the table. She grabbed it off the table first. I don't know which one that was. And so after she put it down, I looked at it, and I recognized that our guy there only charged me for one glass of wine. Did not charge me for the second glass. And so that was a dilemma moment there, friends. And so I'm curious what the faithful Up and Adam podcast listeners would do in that moment when you recognize that you had just scammed off a free glass of wine there, Stephanie.
And what do they think that we did?
What are the majority of people? What would they do in that scenario? What do you think?
I think most people wouldn't say anything.
Most people wouldn't say anything. I mean, that's probably... We're talking also like $4 for the glass of wine, too, just for context.
Which is pretty good for a glass of wine.
I don't know. First time. I'm not sure if that's expensive. Tell me if that's expensive, by the way. I wasn't I didn't go like top shelf wine, by the way. I went house wine. So it's not like I went, one of those astronomically expensive bottles of wine. So most people would tell said guy nothing. They would just say, hey, that sucks. His error, my win, and go on about their day.
Because some people also may not even notice.
That's also true. That's fair. And so I'll pause for a second here, and I'll let you guys consider and say out loud what you think we did. Ready? Here's the pause. All right. So what do you think we did, Stephanie? Actually, you were there. What,
I do know.
What can you fill us in here? Sell this conclusion here. What happened when the guy came back to retrieve the check?
I believe that you did mention to the waiter what had been done. And then he was like, oh, okay. And he started walking away. And then he was kind of like, what? I didn't hear you. And like had a smile on his face. I think we both just assumed he was going to add it because he took the check with him. And then he came back and the check was the exact same and he didn't add it.
He did not, no. Did we tip extra there? I think you handled the tip. Okay, yeah, we tipped extra on that, which is probably the right thing to do. But he never did charge us for that glass of wine. Now, I guess that's, he just recognized he made an error. Maybe he made a second error and thought he added it in the second time.
I know.
I don't really know. How many times was I obligated to tell him, hey, Chief, you really didn't charge me for this glass of wine?
Yeah, and I don't know, maybe he didn't understand us. Like, I don't know if he thought we were just like, don't charge us even though you didn't charge us. I don't know. It just seemed...
I'm sorry, what?
Like, I don't...
Oh, hold on, really quickly. Let me just think. Let's just talk this out loud quickly. So you're one of your premises is that we went to him and said, hey, you charged me for 2 glasses. Don't do that, buddy. Just charge me for 1. Do you think that's what he thought we were doing?
I don't know.
Okay. No, you sure? Let's talk this out.
I was thinking maybe he misunderstood me. I don't remember.
I said it, not you.
I know, but then as he, like, I think I said, like, if you want to add it on.
Uh-huh.
And I don't know if he took that as, like, you don't have to add it on if you don't want to.
Okay. And to imagine he was the confused one. Either way, we did not get charged. And I feel like I did the right thing. I feel like I was a good citizen, a good steward of just society and tried to...
set a good example for your children.
I don't think they heard anyway. I don't think they understood.
I think Addison might have.
I don't think she...
Aiden didn't.
No, Aiden didn't get it, and nor would he. I don't think Addison did. Well, we were also having this debate with Addison, too, during dinner. Mm-hmm. Here's another fun one. Addison's got a cell phone. She, at this point, currently, I have not put any of the parental applications on the phone, i.e. her iPad has an app that I can turn it off whenever I want to.
Yeah, actually, this is not where I thought you were going with this story, but go ahead.
Where were we going?
The names.
We can get back to that, too.
Okay.
That's a little dicey, though. I don't know if we want to go there. And so you had said to Addison that there would be a curfew on her phone, and you asked what time I thought that curfew should be.
And he comes out with...
I said no curfew.
And I almost fell on the floor.
I said no curfew. Well, here's what I said. I said, let's trust our daughter that she will know what the right time and a reasonable time to get off her phone is every night. And so we shouldn't have to go in there every night and tell her get off your phone or put an app on it. She should just know what a reasonable time frame was to not be on the phone.
But then...
And I said, and she said, okay. And I said, well, Addison, what do you think a reasonable time is that you should get off your phone? And she said...
Midnight.
Which, of course, is not the right answer. Mommy was more in like the 10 o'clock range. I was actually thinking like 9, personally.
I really wanted it to be 9:30.
You were in the 10 o'clock range. And so we didn't really end that conversation. I guess what's the comment? Do other people who have kids, what do you guys do with your kids' phone usages? Are they cut off at a certain time? Is 9:30 too late? Too early? What do you think that?
It's different among everyone. What we ended up telling her is if her grades go down or she's getting in trouble in school, not only will she have a curfew, she just won't have the phone at all.
Oh, that's obviously true. Now, but I'm going to assume that she wants her phone after 9, 9:30, 10, whatever the time is, because she can also talk to her friends.
Who are allowed
which would
to have
mean
their
that
phones.
most people then don't have curfews on there.
I don't know.
Is that how that works? Like, are we weird in that sense, and that we're putting some? I mean, I as a youth, I was not allowed to talk on the phone past a certain amount of time, obviously.
Yeah, me too.
But then nowadays, I mean, kids just text. So back then, like, it's not like we were texting through the old rotary phone at the house there. But is there a timing where she should put the phone down? So I'm assuming that must mean that most or there are a number of kids who don't have that.
I'm sure there's a number of kids that don't, because even like just hearing kids talk, they'll say, "Oh, I'm so tired. I was up till like 1 o'clock in the morning on my phone," and obviously that's not what we want.
Well, it's not what you want.
That's what you want?
It's not also. But again, we talked about this last week. You have a phenomenon in which you are very upset when anybody in society doesn't get the proper amount of sleep.
It is important.
It is important. Strangers. It could be the bank teller.
It's important for your weight. It's important for your mental health.
You. It doesn't matter who it is. Stephanie's very upset when she learns that somebody in society didn't get the appropriate amount of sleep.
You can tell the difference in our children when they are tired. And I would much rather deal with an Aiden and Addison that are not cranky than an Aiden and or Addison that are cranky.
Sure. I mean,
there's like a complete difference between.
I suppose that makes sense. Yeah. I mean, obviously, I don't want them to be walking around in the zombie state at all times, but you know.
Or the snappy state.
What's
where
the
they
snappy?
snap at you.
Yeah. It's usually just Addison who just snaps at people, though.
Oh, but you can tell when Aiden's tired. He's super hyper when he's tired.
But yet, all these kids are on the weekends doing who knows what. I don't understand how this all comes together. Then
they're doing it without technology, though.
Ooh, is that true?
Yeah, there's technology out there. That's actually part of why we can't go camping, because I have to work on the weekend. I actually looked it up, and I wanted to go glamping.
I mean, it's for those who are listening to the show who know me. Does anybody out there think I would actually survive camping?
You can't build your own
for
fire.
an entire 48 hours? Is that how this works?
From like Friday night till Sunday.
Does anybody think I'd survive camping?
You just got to put your mind to it. It's not that hard, especially if you have a bathroom.
Yeah, sure. But what are you doing out there the entire time? I got to go back to this. I know we're 20 minutes into the show that we talked about this already, but I still don't. What are you doing all this? So I'm driving an RV, which is just me driving an RV. But I'm driving an RV. I get to the campsite. I park our rig, whatever you call that thing, and we get up out of there. And then what do we do?
You can go fishing.
Fishing. I'm going fishing.
You can bring tubes and go in the lake. You can.
What kind of lake are we talking about here? So you go
freshwater lake.
So you have to go near bodies of water to camp.
It's helpful. It gives you more things to do. A lot of the campgrounds have playgrounds, pools, and then you're usually making breakfast, lunch, and dinner, either like over a charcoal fire or making a fire. I like to see you make a fire.
God, sounds dreadful. That just sounds absolutely dreadful.
And then, I mean, depending on like what toys you bring, like some people bring their ATVs or their jet skis.
So in order to go camping, I need an RV, I need an ATV, I need a tube apparently, I need a jet ski, and I need fire building capabilities.
But you can just bring chairs and just sit too, as long as there's stuff for the kids to do.
But what are those kids doing? That's what I want to know.
They're fishing, they're swimming, they're exploring. Aiden loves nature.
Are there wild animals?
I'm not sure.
I feel like it's a high probability.
I mean, when I went camping, there was always wild boars that you could hear in the distance. And there's alligators.
And no one's not out here. There's not. And
no
one's concerned about that.
It's part of nature.
There's not a lot of things are part of nature. It doesn't mean you go live there. Like there's a volcano. You don't go set up a camp up top there and be like, "I'll see what happens next." Like there should be certain precautions that you just take to stay safe in life.
There might be. I don't know. See, we could not go camping just our family. We would need to go with a family who is professional campers.
So now I also need to plan my time with another family. So I'm stuck with not only
most people don't just go camping with their family.
So you need alternate folk. Why can't people just go hang out at somebody's house then? If we're getting everybody together here, why are we all getting in a rig and going on down to bait the old hook there to get some fish and some wild sockeye? Why don't we just go to someone's house and have some burgers on the grill?
I don't know the answer, except for most people don't have pools here. That's why they're always amazed when I tell them people in Florida don't just go camping every weekend. And they're like, well, what do you guys do? And I'm like, we either go to the beach or we have pools in our backyard and we barbecue.
Yeah, I don't understand. We need other options because camping's not us. Boating is not us, at least not in the current status that we're in. Like, do we need other hobbies? Like, do we need additional hobbies? Should we start doing something like...
Maybe. We need a house with a pool.
Geocaching? Like, what should we be doing?
Geocaching. Oh, jeez.
Is that us?
I hope not.
Can we get one of those, like, license plate holders that says, I'd rather be geocaching? I don't like those, by the way. People get those all the time. I don't understand them. That just seems silly.
I don't know of another hobby for us.
All right. We need hobbies.
Yeah.
We need hobbies. What are some things that they should know about... well, let me I'll fill them in on what you need in a hobby. All right, that way they can better, and you can fill them in on what I need in a hobby. It's fair. What you're gonna need in a hobby is the ability to take a nap at some point in time.
Yes,
you're gonna need that. That's for sure. So it's something where she can lay down for a period of time or has a rest period.
You can.
There you go. Okay, so you need a rest period. You also need something where you need a lot of people around. Like you need other people around. You're not looking for some secluded situation where you need other people to be around.
If our children are with us, yes.
No, even if our children aren't with us, you need other people around.
No, I could be just with you if we didn't have to entertain our children.
Well, then are they? So the children aren't there? Well, then sure. If it's just the two of us, that's a different story. But if the children are there, like, yeah, that would be. You would need. Apparently you need internet so you can do your quote unquote work while you're there.
Food.
You'd also need a way. Well, of course you need food. You'd also need a way to keep things clean. So you need something where you can clean regularly.
That's true.
Or enough sanitizing wipes, I think, to get you by, perhaps.
That's true.
Yeah, you're going to need some of that stuff, too. You also fancy yourself as, like, an outdoorsman of sorts. Because, like, I don't know, like 25 years ago, you used to go outside with your friends all the time. So now you think that, like, you're a award-winning jet skier and boogie boarder and then, you know, skimboard surfer and all this other stuff. So you'd want those things just so you can continue on your professional tour, of course.
There is no skimboarding. Terrible at that.
I think I got most of those. What do I need?
You need a microphone. You need some.
I mean, are we doing a live podcast from the campground or wherever we're at?
You would need headphones to listen to music.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You need some exercise equipment.
I mean, yeah.
And you need a TV.
Oh,
you need internet or TV.
Yeah, I need some sort of an entertainment vehicle.
Yeah.
For sure. So find us hobbies, I guess.
We went running together this morning.
Is that a hobby? We call that running?
Hey.
I was running. I'm not sure.
You stopped and I said one more lap.
Well, it's because you went off. So 4 laps, there's a track by our house. 4 laps equals a mile, right? Mm-hmm. Each lap is obviously a quarter mile. You add them all up, you get a mile, right? So we run the 4 laps. I finished probably about a lap and a half ahead of you until I waited for you, and you're like, one more. And I'm like, just one more? Like, we're going to run a mile and a quarter? And so we ran the one more lap, and then I was like, well, let's just do one more to make it a mile and a half. And I believe you said no to that.
Yeah, I said I was done.
Yeah, you said you were done. And then I conned you into doing a
3 more laps.
A timed interval where you run for 20 seconds and walk for 10 seconds. Now, you actually did choose to walk. I like shuffled or did something.
Yeah, by the way, all that hand movement was really confusing because you were supposed to be giving me hand movements when it was time to go.
You saw the hand movements. I was either stopping you or
But then you were also
had
your hands flying everywhere.
I mean, you got to do that when you're running. And yeah, so we finished up another.
So we made it to 2 miles.
We did make it to 2 miles, yeah.
I barely made it.
Yeah.
Need to work on that.
I mean, and one of us runs a fitness facility. That's odd.
Yeah, we don't run long distance.
One of us has a full-time job. That's interesting how that works out. It's just ironic how that can still work there. Not sure one of us is, keeping up right to the bargain there. But.
Did you want to go back to the name thing or no?
Which name is this?
From the restaurant.
I don't know. Is that something we want to talk about?
Maybe not.
Is that something that... does that not make us? I mean, I did the right thing.
Yeah. By
course correcting Addison.
Yes.
I don't even know how that conversation started though.
She just came up with that out of nowhere.
I don't know.
She just said, "Guess what the waiter's name is."
Yeah. Yeah. So we not a proud moment though. You might as well tell the story. We've already talked about it now for 30 seconds because you asked if we want to talk about it. So you might as well tell the story and just continue to make us look like bad parents.
At dinner, Addison just randomly said, "Guess what the waiter's name is?" And
to be fair, hold on, she did not know his name.
Correct.
She was asking, "What is his name?" Or what do you guys think his name is? I think.
Yes. And I picked Robert.
You're missing a couple of key.
Okay, go ahead. You said for me to tell the story.
Well, in order for this to make the story to make sense for people, the waiter was obviously Hispanic or Latino. Mm-hmm. It was very obvious that he was one of those two nationalities or whatnot. Now you may continue because that's like actually the key part of the story. Without that, it just doesn't make any sense. Well, then it would make 0 sense. Okay, there we go.
Addison chose Julio,
something like that. Yeah.
And Adam was upset with her because she was stereotyping.
Yeah, it was an obvious stereotype that she assumed his name was going to be something very ethnically specific.
But I think it was a good learning opportunity. And you took that opportunity to explain to Addison what she was doing.
I did. I don't think it got through there, though.
No, I think it did.
Yeah. His name actually was Roberto, though.
Yeah, so I was the closest.
You said his name was Robert.
Yeah. Robert is Roberto.
Thank you, Stephanie. We're all aware of what Roberto means. So another proud parenting moment for us too. So anything else?
By the way, we didn't ask him what his name is. It was on his name tag.
No, it actually was on the check.
It was on the check.
Yeah, we did not. Anything else that's happened this week you want to talk about, Steph? Anything else you want to share with the group? I mean,
I think that was it.
That's all that's exciting in your life these days?
Yeah.
All right. Well, we covered a lot of ground there. That's what's been going on with us. We'll come right back here. We'll talk to you about the news. A lot of things going on in the news. Not so good. Some pretty bad stuff going on out there. But we'll try to keep it light and fun for you. So let's do the news segment right after this.
My dad tells my mom what's going on in the world. This should go well.
Yes. It's time for the news. Stephanie prepared 0 news stories this week, so she's eagerly thumbing through her phone for news stories. While she does that, though, I do have some prepared that we can talk through, Steph, if you'd like to share. Also, I forgot to mention off the top of the show, if you follow us on Instagram or Facebook, and if you actually subscribe to the show, if you're watching or listening, you're not watching, if you're listening on Apple right now, there's a photograph. It's a new photo, Steph. I updated the cover photo for our show. Not sure if everybody likes that or not. I thought it's a nice. The show is about us, and yet the picture was a yellow man looking up in the sky, which was supposed to be me. Mm-hmm. I guess I am kind of yellow in some respects, and so we updated it.
I like that.
I'm glad you do. I wonder if anybody else does.
Did anyone even notice?
No one's mentioned. Sad. A couple of things in the news, Steph. I'm not sure if you're tracking to this. I'm pretty excited about it. I don't know about you.
Is it about football?
It's not. Well, we can talk. You want to talk football? What do you got?
No, go ahead.
You got something? I mean, preseason, the Hall of Fame game played this week. It was a dud, of course, as always is. I don't know who watches that Hall of Fame game stuff. I actually didn't even watch it. I think I watched like 5 seconds of it.
Tops. I just thought you said you were excited about it. So.
I am excited about it. This Wednesday, 9 p.m. local time, wherever you're at, is the premiere episode of 90210.
Oh, I didn't know it was this Wednesday.
It's coming back. It's back. The new one is back this Wednesday. Stephanie, are we excited about that?
I am excited about that.
What are your expectations?
I don't think I have any. I want to see how they're doing it. Like
I have some inside info. I've discovered what's happening. Do you want me to share?
Yeah.
All right. So the premise of this show is it's actually them playing themselves, if you will. And so the premise of the story,
like they're putting on another show, like the characters are being recorded for a show.
I'm sorry.
Never mind. Just go.
The actors, the real life actors, they're playing themselves, and what they're playing themselves in is a show about how they used to be on 90210.
Oh.
So it's almost like a mockumentary, if you will, to some extent. So they're actually playing themselves. They're, Jason Priestley is Jason Priestley. Brian Green is Brian Green. And it's basically them coming back together to potentially maybe do a new show or a new relaunch, right? So it's kind of like a mockumentary about them, talking about the fact that, one of them was Brandon and this one was Brenda and yada, yada, yada. So it's not going to be like a serialized drama where it's like, hey, Brendan and Brandon and blah, blah, blah. It's going to be them playing their actual selves, but probably to an exaggerated version to talk about how they were used to be on the show. I'm sure they're going to do some scenes where they're in character, so they're in their old characters. But then essentially the show is about them being who they are.
And then they're going to take clips from the old shows,
I don't believe they're going to do that. I mean, maybe they will, I guess, in theory, if they want to add some context. But it'll be them playing them. So
that's odd.
It'll be interesting. Are you in for things do you think that the faithful out there are in for that kind of thing?
I think so. But then I think the kids who are a little younger and have never seen 90210 are definitely not going to tune in.
Possibly, yeah. I guess. I mean, I wonder if you would need to know about all that stuff. Really, it's just about a show about how they used to be on a show.
Yeah, but we can relate to it because we'll know what they're talking about. Does that make sense?
Possibly, yeah. Again, that's the unknown. That's the thing I don't yet know. But that's, I guess, the premise of this.
So do you have our DVR set to record this?
It is set to record.
Oh, right.
Yeah, it is set to record. We're also watching. Do you want to talk about what we're also watching? It has nothing to do with news right now.
Sure. People are going to think it's weird that I watch it. But
no, if they watch, they'll explain. I got Stephanie involved in a show called Last Chance U, which appears on Netflix. And the premise of Last Chance U is that it is a small community college, and they have a football team. And basically, kids go play at this school when they're not able to go play at maybe a bigger school. So either the grades aren't very good, or maybe they didn't get a lot of offers, and so they want to try to get some practice in. So
they got in trouble.
They got in trouble, so they go play here because they can't yet play elsewhere. And really, the goal when you go here is that you don't want to be here. So you're there playing, but the goal is you want to get the heck out of there.
You're just trying to get, what is it called? Tape?
Yes, they want to. Wow. Yes, they want to. Tape means that they want to have themselves playing games on film, so that other coaches or recruiters can see them. And so
that's what their goal is.
And that's what their goal is. And so I was watching the show. I got Stephanie hooked on the show.
I've cried multiple times.
And for those who are, that's a fair point of why they think it's curious. It's not as much about football as you would think. So obviously it's about football, right? They're our football team. But there's a lot more human interest stuff in it than probably almost football in some respects.
And it really goes in deep about how these kids have been like brought up and maybe why they are the way they are.
Yeah.
It kind of breaks your heart.
Sometimes it can. A lot of cursing in this one, though. The coach of this particular team of the Independence Pirates is he's got a potty mouth.
So we don't watch this in front of the kids, just to be
Can't
clear.
be in front of the kids, no. But it's a very good show. We actually are now season 4 kicked off a couple weeks ago, and so we've caught up through season 3, and now we're in like episode 4, I think, of season 4. So we're coming to an end soon. But
we're in episode 4 is season 4.
Yeah, I think it's episode 4 we watched last night.
I thought we were in season 3.
No, we saw season 3 last. That was the first 8 shows where it was Malik Henry and
I didn't
Carlos
see
Thompson.
season 1 then.
Season 1 and season 2 are a different team.
Oh.
Yeah, so she doesn't always understand all of it. She also never knows who anybody is when they're actually in their football uniform. She's like, is that him? Is that Malik?
They don't
Which one
have
is that?
names on the back of their
They
things,
don't.
and I don't remember the numbers, and they have their helmet on, so you can't see who it is, and then I'm all confused.
Yeah, it's actually a decent show, though, so for those out there who are interested.
It is, and it really pulls at my heartstrings. I want to go, because they have some of the teachers from the college, like, on the show, trying to help these kids out, and it's like, I want to go work there. I want to go help them.
Yeah.
But
it's tough, yeah. I mean,
what state is that in?
That is in Kansas.
Yeah.
So there's a big football league of community colleges in Kansas that play against each other. There's 8 schools, and it follows them around.
Yeah. Adam's like, you want to go live in Kansas?
I mean, I don't want to go live in Kansas, but, you know.
You think you won't survive camping? You won't survive Kansas either.
Is that right?
I think it would be tough for you.
Okay. All right. What do you got? I saw you with your phone out there, Steph. Did you come up with any news
I
stories?
saw something, and I couldn't find it again.
Oh, boy.
To see the rest of it.
Okay. I have a story while you're looking at that, though.
Okay.
And so let me introduce you to a basketball player. His name is DJ Cooper. Are you familiar with DJ Cooper?
I am not.
He used to play for the Ohio University Bobcats, and he's now playing overseas in Slovenia. You been there?
No.
It's beautiful. So he's playing in Slovenia, and as often happens in when you're playing in professional leagues and things like this, they do random drug tests. They drug test you to make sure that you're not on any performance-enhancing drugs, probably some recreational drugs, all that stuff. And often, people get caught, and they get suspended. And and when you're in some of these lower leagues like Slovenia, getting suspended probably could mean you lose your contract, you don't get to play anymore. So there's a lot of pressure on it. There's a lot of pressure on Mr. DJ Cooper, and so he took a drug test, Stephanie. Mm-hmm. And here's the bad news:
he didn't pass.
He tested positive
for.
Well, that's the kicker. He tested positive for pregnancy.
What?
I said pregnancy.
So he's transgender? What?
Oh, that's one way to go. So Mr. Cooper decided to smuggle in the urine of his girlfriend in place of his own urine. And so the test came back pregnant.
Oh, no. And did he not even know she was pregnant? Or did he not think that would show him?
Not sure on that. Not sure if he actually knew that there was a child on the way. But he tried to beat the drug test and was so close. A for effort. He got, good execution. He had it all figured out. He got the urine from his girlfriend, I assume. I don't know how they test, but typically they make people like watch you while you test to make sure that you don't do anything shady. I'm not sure if that's what happens here. So if he had to pull off some magicianal tricks to get the urine into the right cup, who knows? All was going to plan except for that minor little part about her being pregnant.
Well, that sucks.
Yeah.
Especially if you didn't even know she was pregnant, and that's not the way you want to find out.
That's a good, interesting twist to the story. The story was written in the Slovenian paper in Slovenia, so it's been translated a few times. So I don't have the ability to read it and understand if he knew in advance if there was a child on the way. But imagine his surprise when he was like, you tested positive, and he was kind of like, what? And it was for pregnancy. So DJ Cooper, nice try. I mean, A for effort. You got to give it to him.
Yeah. They should kind of let him off the hook just for that.
You think so?
Not really.
Okay.
I can't find what I was looking for.
What were you looking for, Stephanie? Give me the.
I wasn't sure I was even going to talk about it because
Okay.
I don't know if I saw that right. So
you don't know if you
if I saw the title right.
Saw the title of the story correct. Okay. Yeah, a lot of good stuff in the news there. I appreciate you pitching in there. You had also asked me to help you understand something.
Yes,
Can you explain what it is that you we literally sat down at the microphones, and I hadn't yet turned them on yet, and we were just kind of goofing around, and you said, "Can you please explain something to me? Can you explain to people what you wanted to explain to you?"
So I keep hearing about Area 51, but I honestly have no idea what it is or what the phenomenon is. And even Addison said something to me like it's about aliens or something.
Yeah, that's loosely true. So let me explain the phenomenon to you.
Is it an actual area? Like, is it a place?
What do you think it is?
I have no idea.
It is a place.
Where is it?
It is located. Let me get you the exact coordinates here. It is in Lincoln County, Nevada.
Okay.
I'll try to find if I can coordinate you here. It's the southernmost portion of Nevada. It's about 83 miles northwest of Las Vegas.
Okay.
So get your yawn in there. So a couple of things about it. So there was an internet thing going around where people were trying to plan a party, almost like a concert type thing at Area 51.
Okay.
And so I think it was started on Facebook. People were like, let's go to Area 51 and just like jam out. Let's have a good old party.
So was it already named Area 51?
It is, yes.
Okay.
I can explain. Let me finish that part and I'll get back to where that's from.
Okay.
So there's an online movement. People go there and let's party. Let's hang out at Area 51. What people maybe don't realize is that Area 51, it's actually like a military base.
Oh.
It is operated by the Air Force. It's part of the federal government. So you just can't go hang out at Area 51. So people were very much like, hey, we should go to Area 51. And people were like, no, you can't do that. That's just not what happens here. So, and so it's called, no one really knows why it's called Area 51. There's some thought it was like part of a numbering system by one of the energy commissions, but it's really not that. So there's really no reason why it's called Area 51. As far as like what happens, it's a big secrecy. I'll read this directly from the internet for you though. The intense secrecy surrounding the base has made it the frequent subject of conspiracy theories and a central component to unidentified flying object folklore. The base has never been declared a secret base, but all research and occurrences in Area 51 are top secret information. The CIA didn't publicly acknowledge the existence of the base until June of 2013, following a Freedom of Information Act. So it's no one really knows, but the central premise is that is where people go, or that's where there's alien type research, life forms, that kind of stuff going.
That's interesting.
It is. So that's Area 51. Is it all you thought it would be?
Well, it's interesting about the conspiracy theory stuff, but I assume it was almost like, what was that other party that one guy was trying to do, where they flew them to Bahamas or Jamaica or whatever, and
that's the Fire Fest.
Yeah,
Fire Festival.
And that's basically what they were trying to do.
I don't
not
know.
So high, not so fancy.
Yeah, I don't know if it was that specific. But yes, they were trying to put together like an online movement for people to go hang out and party and have a good old time, and everyone just thought Area 51 would be the place or the best place to do that at.
Okay, because then I saw things like storm Area 51, like people wanted to go and, I don't know if break in is the word, but storm it.
Yeah. Well, you can't storm it. Well, you could try, but there was a lot of people who were posting out there that if you do that, they will shoot on sight. Again, it's a secure military facility.
Got it.
But again, a lot of conspiracy theories happening with that place. A lot of people assume that there are things that go on there that we're not supposed to know about, top secret, government information, yada yada yada.
Interesting.
Would you like to go there?
No, I wouldn't mind knowing more about it, but I don't really have a desire to go there.
You want to learn more about it. What do you want to? I mean, what specifically do you want to learn?
Well, I mean, if there's
Do you believe in aliens, by the way? So do you believe in like life forms?
I do not.
Why not?
I don't know.
I mean, there's all these pictures and photographic evidence out there that suggest that there's other people out there, walking around with us.
Do you believe in Bigfoot?
I don't.
I don't either.
I don't. I don't believe in any of that stuff, though. I don't believe in ghosts, Bigfoot.
I believe in spirits.
Aliens, spirits? What do you mean?
Like, I believe that there can be spirits around from people who have passed.
I don't follow.
What do you mean?
I don't follow.
Not that we can see or touch or even hear, but that they could see us and have some influence as to what happens to us.
Yeah, I think a lot of people. I don't know if I subscribe to that theory.
I know you don't, because I'll tell you all the time. Like, I think like your mom had some sort of influence on things, and you think I'm crazy.
I do. I think it's. I think people in that vulnerable spot. So typically, if you lose somebody close to you, you're probably a little bit upset about it. It probably still haunts you, bothers you, and so there's some vulnerability there. So I think people just play to that vulnerability part to be like, why I had that Coke today? My mom always liked Coke. Like, I know I just.
I'm not that specific,
but I think you can tie something. You do this with hereditary things all the time too. By the way, like this is another one of my. We're not on the things that annoy me part yet, but we just usually run this throughout anyway. So, you do this a ton, right? I get something will happen. One of the kids will, you know what? Here's what it was. I remember that this is
the mango.
No, well, there's that one, but this was one that really was annoying to me. I don't think any of those people listen to the show, so I'm about to offend probably somebody in your family. So hopefully don't listen. But one day, I took Aiden to go look at some model homes. So you and Addison were out doing something. I don't know what it was. And I took Aiden to go look at model homes because he loves model homes. He's just naturally curious and inquisitive like that. And so I think I put a picture up that said Aiden and I at model homes. And one of your relatives,
my sister, responded.
It reminds me. He gets that from your dad, his grandfather. That's not a hereditary trait. You don't pass down the love of model homes.
I don't think they
through
said
the
that.
DNA chain.
They said your father used to love to do that too.
It wasn't. Yeah, it was implied that just like his grandfather, that kind of thing.
Okay.
That doesn't go through the old block DNA chain there. Mm-hmm. A lot of people attach like that, a hereditary nature to things. That always annoys me. Like, I really like cheese. You know what? You get that from your dad. Do I really? Or I just like cheese, and he liked cheese too. Like,
so your sarcasm that Addison also has?
That's a learned behavior. So there are things that your children can learn from you. Right?
That's true.
There's a learned behavior. So Addison has learned how to be a tad sarcastic at times, right? But just because she likes cheese and I like cheese doesn't mean that, like, we also both walk. Does she get that from me? We also both blink. Is that coming from you or is that coming from you? You're a big blinker. Is that from you versus me? Like, those things aren't on the block DNA chain.
I agree.
A lot of people like to... You do that all the time, too. Like, Addison loves shoes. Well, she gets that from you. Like, does she? Or she just wants to wear...
joking
She
when I
just
say
doesn't
that
want to
stuff.
walk on ground and hot coals and, like, broken glass. Like, she wants a footwear on.
I get that. I'm
Okay.
usually joking when I say that.
Usually, okay. Again, I also don't the spirit thing. I mean, I hope in some respects that there are people out there pulling the old strings. But then, how do you explain when something bad happens? Will they sleep at the wheel or something?
Everything happens for a reason.
Oh, you're one of those. Everything has a reason. You believe that?
I do.
So that when bad things happen, there's a reason for it.
Yes.
So if this ceiling were just come crashing down on us right now, fracturing my spine and leaving me unable to walk, knock on wood. You'd be like, well, have a reason. We're just okay with that.
You got to see the positive
I
in
guess
things.
so. You people in the positivity. I don't know how you do it. You must be exhausting to walk around all day long like, oh, man, flat tire. That's just great. Because now I get to learn a little bit more about how the tow truck driver, now I get to give him work so he can go home and feed his family. Like, you people with the positivity, I wish I could do it. I'm not even joking. I wish I could do that.
I wish you could do it too.
I don't quite know how we get there.
Adam is very much glass half empty, and I am very much glass half full. And maybe that's why we get along.
Ooh,
or maybe we don't get along, according to him right now.
No, I mean, I don't see you much as glass half full.
Oh, please.
Well, I would phrase it a little differently, but I'm trying to figure out the right way to say it without insulting you.
Just go ahead.
You're more like glass half oblivious. Like, you don't realize the glass is there. You're not quite sure if there's liquid in it or not. You're just like oblivious to the glass per se. Where I don't know that you're a positive person as much as you're just like, hey, okay, here we are. Woo! Hey, look at the sun. Like, I don't think that there's a.
I just don't let things bother me like they bother you.
You just don't let things. Like, I don't know how much permeates the membrane there. You know what I mean? Like, I just don't think you're letting a lot of stuff up, like, clogging up the old neuron receptors there, to get the juices flowing.
And that's it.
But I'm certainly glass half empty, that's for sure. I've mentioned some things that annoy me, Stephanie. Are there things that annoy you?
When your husband thinks that you have no brain.
Well, see, that's not what I said.
I'm just kidding.
That's not what I said.
No, I don't have anything that annoys
Nothing
me. Because you told
you.
me I'm not allowed to talk about the kids.
I mean, you can. I just feel bad. I mean, I also spent the first 57 minutes of the show bashing the children, so I think we've done enough of that too. But nothing annoyed you this week. There's nothing out there.
I hate it. Nothing annoys me more than having, because I'm very on time and scheduled.
Yes.
Having a doctor's appointment. And then sitting there, you get there like 5-10 minutes before the time. They bring you right in.
Sure.
And then you sit in that little room for 45 minutes before the doctor comes in.
Why do you think that happens? What do you think is going on?
They said she had one other physical she was doing before Addison's. And I'm like, how long? Our physical, once she came in, lasted 10 minutes. Mm-hmm. Why was that person's physical 45 minutes?
What's the root cause? So there's a couple options here as I see them. Maybe I'm missing something. I'm just spitballing right here. We're workshopping this, right? A, the doctor is off schedule. Either they came in late, something along those lines.
That's possible.
B, they schedule appointments too close to each other. So they schedule in every 5-10 minute increments where obviously that's not feasible.
Right.
C, was there a patient prior to the lead up that required more time? You had to talk to that person more. There was things that happened, and so maybe you thought you were going to only be 7 minutes, but you ended up being 20 minutes. What is the root cause?
They said there was only the doctor was with the one person, and that we were next. I think they were lying.
What?
I know. Can you believe that?
Why were they lying for what though?
That there was more than one person in front of us.
Okay. All right. Hold on. The doctor may have been lying. Are there people in your life, like service industries, if you will, or professions that you just expect that they're always lying to you? Like the airline pilot is always lying to you.
Well, I really don't want him to lie.
I'm not saying I want him to either, but he's always lying to you. He's always like, Captain of the Flight speaking. We've got a quick little cross check. We'll be off in about 5 minutes, and he knows it's 30 minutes. Like, I feel like the airplane pilot is always lying to you. Who else is always lying to you?
Well, the lady at the what's that called, when you're at your gate, and the lady who's like announcing it's almost time to board, she always lies too.
Why is she lying? What's she lying about?
Same thing, like, we're gonna be getting boarding in 5 minutes, and then
I don't know
or
if
it's
I have
just
that.
5 minutes late. Well, plane will be here any minute.
So basically, they do the ding. They do the. We're going to be boarding in about 15 minutes here. We'll start with our priority A boarding people. Just sit tight, everybody. Move back. So that lady's lying.
Yeah.
Okay. So we think pretty much everybody at the airport's lying to you.
Yeah.
Is anybody at the airport telling you the truth?
Maybe the security people.
But see, their security people are also like, I don't know the rule, because I'm always confused airport to airport. Like, there are some airports we got to take your iPad out. Some you don't. Now, I know they're testing different things at airports.
Take shoes off. Don't take shoes off.
Yeah, I feel like they just make that up at the day. Like, hey, Jim, do we want to do shoes today? Like, I don't freaking know, man.
I think
a
that's
Saturday.
true.
Let's just not do the shoes today. That's cool. There's something. So everyone at the airport's lying to you. So we've established this. If you're at the airport, you're being lied to by somebody.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Doctor's offices. Now, you think that who's lying to you? You think the receptionist people, they're always lying to you?
Yeah.
Okay. The nurse is lying to you.
They're trying to, like, appease you. Like, not be like, it's going to be a 45-minute wait.
So they're always lying to you. Okay. Car dealership, mechanic places. Are they lying to you?
Oh, yeah.
Why are they lying to you?
Your car is going to be ready in 20 minutes.
So most of the things that you think you're getting lied about are more
time.
punctuality based.
Yeah.
So you know in your mind, this is just you. And again, while your glass half full, stuff, you're getting lied to at the airport. You know you're getting lied to at the doctor's office. You know you're getting lied to at the car dealership.
Mm-hmm.
What about your child's school? You getting lied to at the school?
I don't know if it's lied to, but I think sometimes.
Well, I got to ask a question, Stephanie.
Huh.
I've got to ask a question.
Because I used to
You were an award-winning educator.
I was not an award winner.
You didn't win any awards?
Not like about teaching.
What'd you win an award? What? Hold on. Whoa.
Like not missing a day.
Hold on. What awards did you win? Let's break this news right now.
Like if I went a whole year without missing a day.
Did that ever happen?
Like once.
What did you get?
A little piece of paper.
All right, a piece of paper. Okay.
But there are not very many awards for teachers. There's like winning. They'll say like one person out of the whole county or the whole school will win teacher of the year.
You never got teacher of the year?
Nope.
Nominations?
Nope.
Like others receiving votes?
I don't know.
All right, so I'll take that back. So Stephanie, you are a teacher, although not award winning. Did you ever lie to your parents, maybe the office? Were there lies being told there?
I never lied. I definitely sugar-coated some things to help.
I mean, can we just really quickly, what's the difference between a lie and a sugarcoat?
So, like, if a child is misbehaving, I would say, like, they're doing a lot of talking, but that's because they got, like, a lot of things going on in their head, and they just want to, like, let it out, and they just have a hard time holding it in, and so I'm not lying.
But
I try and, like, make it...
You're softening.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay, but you were not lying. You weren't like,
No.
Johnny's really well behaved when Johnny wasn't well behaved.
Oh, no, because that's just going to do me a disservice.
Okay. So, but that's just you. Are other teachers, are they lying to parents? Do you think it's...
I don't think so.
They're just lying across the board. Principals, are they lying? Vice principals? Oh, Mrs. McGillicuddy's a great teacher. You're going to love having her in the second grade. Is that
maybe.
a lie?
Yeah.
Do they know? So the teachers are evaluated by their principal, right? Do I have this right? Tell me. I've never been in a school, but I assume, just like similar to my workplace, that the person in charge evaluates the people who work for them, and you get reviews of some sort, I assume. Yeah, go ahead and hit that button again. Mm-hmm. You get reviews of some sort, right? Your teacher,
yes.
You're evaluated by the principal. So in theory, I could have been your boss, evaluated you every year. When's that? How's
Once
that
a year.
Once a year.
Unless
so the
you're a
year
new
prior,
teacher.
I evaluated you, and I gave you bad marks, whatever that would be. And so the next year, you're back at my school again, and I'm like, you're going to love Miss McGillicuddy. She's such a great teacher. I'd be lying to you then, no?
Yeah.
Interesting. Wow. Wonder where else we're being lied to at.
Probably our jobs.
I know my job. I do all the time. I mean, I lie to people at my job.
Oh, great.
Well, I used to in retail all the time. Like, unfortunately, we can't take that back. Well, I could have taken it back, probably, right? Like retail, you're getting lied to all the time. Well, we don't have any more in the back. No one checked. I'm not going back there for you, lady. We don't have the nutter butt crunch, whatever flavor you want. So we're
Nutter
not,
butt
you know
bun
about it.
crunch.
You know about it. You've had it. Your favorite. Yeah, we lie all the time in retail.
Oh.
Interesting. What if there's other places that you're being lied to at? Accountant.
Oh, waitresses.
Waitresses. They lie to you? What do they lie about?
I think sometimes they might do something to your food or something happen to your food that might...
What? This
or
is
the
not
cook.
good.
I know, but
This
we
is not
watch
good.
Bar
We
Rescue
do watch
and the
Bar
nastiness.
Rescue. A lot of nastiness going on there. But that seemed unintentional. It's not malicious nastiness. You're describing that they know
That's
that
true.
the chef's back there like hawking a loogie and everybody's like soup. I don't know if I believe that's true. I do think they try to upsell you. Is that lying?
No, you
So
mean
when
like
someone
you should
says-
add the mushrooms and the onions?
Yeah. So when
to your
someone says
steak.
like, what do you recommend on the menu? That $58 filet mignon is just fantastic. It's just so good. It's one of my favorite things I've had here. Are they lying to you there because they want you to get it? And is that acceptable? Is it okay? Because
No.
it's their profession. It's their job. They're in sales. So pretty much I feel like all salespeople are probably lying to you, right?
Yes. Oh, can you imagine? Car salesman. Oh, my goodness.
They're all lying to you, right? Look, the body style in this car is just fantastic. It's 100,000 miles, bumper to bumper. The security in this thing, you don't even understand. Like, they're all lying to you, right?
Yeah.
Interesting. We have a society full of people lying to each other. But is it okay if that's your job? If your job is, Stephanie, to feed your family, to put money in your bank account, you need to sell cars. And for you realize the best way for you to sell cars is to tell people that this is the best car. You drive it yourself. You would drive no other car, when that's not true. Is that acceptable?
That's a good point.
Thank you. I should host a podcast.
It's not really acceptable, but I think that's what people have, unfortunately, that's what people have chosen to do instead of maybe finding a job where they don't have to lie.
Interesting. So your recommendation to those people would be like, look, go do something else.
Or just tell the truth and see if that works out for you.
But if it's taking money out of your pocket.
But maybe if you're telling the truth, you'll still make the same amount of money.
Oh, here's this crap again. Everything happens for a reason. You know what else happened for a reason, Stephanie? This show ended for a reason. And that's why we're going to do that right now. I don't have anything else to say at the end. I guess you listened. We thank you for doing that. You should do more of it. You should have other... When you're out camping with your friends or boating or whatever did you people do on the weekends, tap your friend on the shoulder. While you're sitting around that campfire, all you campers out there, campers, listen to me, campers. While you're sitting around that campfire,
talk about us.
Grab yourself, pre-download this thing on your phone. You don't need any internets for that. Pre-download, sit around the campfire, just hit that little play button, get that speaker going, and just sit around that campfire, roast those marshmallows, watch out for those wild boars, and we'll just entertain you for, this is at least a little over an hour. So we killed an hour of your camping experience.
Yeah, you guys can make fun of us and everything.
I mean, sure. Us.
Or me.
Or you. Goodbye.
Goodbye.